Types of drug names, chemical name. Chemical name, amino hydroxybenzyl penicillin trihydrate, phenoxyphenyl methyl cis, trans 3,2,2-dichloroethenyl 2,2-dimethyl-cyclopropane carboxylate, deal 2-ochlorophenyl 2, methylaminocyclohexanone hydrochloride, non-proprietary name, amoxicillin, permethrin insecticide, ketamine hydrochloride, proprietary trade name, amoxidrop, Biomox, Robomoxville, Atrobanner, Defend, Fly Sector, Ketaset, Vitalur. Note that some generic brand drugs do not have a specific trade name, but simply use the non-proprietary name or the active ingredient on their label, as seen in Fig 12. This is common with older drugs such as aspirin, penicillin, or prednisone, which have been produced by many drug manufacturers and for which a unique trade name provides no advantage in marketing the drug. Generic equivalence. When a drug company develops a new drug, obtains the patents, and completes all of the extensive testing required to obtain Food and Drug Administration (FDA) approval to market the new drug, that company has the exclusive rights to manufacture this drug for several years. During that time, no other drug manufacturer could produce the same drug. In the United States, this exclusive protection of manufacturing rights extends 20 years from when the patent for the drug was approved. However, the approval of the patent typically occurs several years before the drug actually reaches the market. Thus, the effective time for which the company has exclusive rights to manufacture the drug is typically 7 to 12 years after the drug has been released to market. This period of exclusive manufacturing theoretically allows the original parent drug company to recover the costs of the research, development, and testing required to bring the drug to market. After the exclusive manufacturing rights expire, other companies are then permitted to produce the drug. Drugs produced or marketed by companies other than the original brand developer are called generic equivalent drugs because they have active ingredients equivalent to those of the original compound but are not produced by the original manufacturer. Generic equivalents are usually sold at a much lower price than the original manufacturer's product because the generic drug producer did not have to underwrite the original drug development, testing, and marketing costs of the parent or brand drug. Typically, when generic versions of drugs become available, the market economics drive down the cost for both the original brand drug and the generic versions. Ask Dieter. Bill. Question. Dr. Bill, are generic brand drugs as good as the original parent company drug? Answer. As a general rule, generic drugs are equivalent drugs and are as effective as the original patented compound. However, the claim by the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, that generic drugs must be identical to the original brand or parent drug is a legal description and not necessarily a literal interpretation. Instead, the FDA requires generics to be 80%, 125% bioequivalent to the original brand compound. Bioequivalence is defined by the FDA as meaning that an equivalent amount of a generic drug, active ingredient, is absorbed and delivered to the target site within the body compared with the original brand or parent drug. Like the parent compound, generic drugs must be approved by the FDA before they can be marketed. Generic equivalents contain the same amount of the active ingredient, are bioequivalent, and in the case of drugs used in food animals or food products, eggs and milk, the amount of drug residue left in tissues or food products is no more than the residues left by the original parent drug. Generic equivalents may have different salts or molecules added to the active ingredient to enhance administration or absorption of the drug, but the drug must still behave equivalently to the parent compound to be considered bioequivalent and hence approved as a generic equivalent drug.